Hello friends, welcome to another video by Luisana from My Life in My Craft Room. Today I am bringing you this card that I decided to make using some very small stamps from that stamp set that I showed right there. I feel like oftentimes we don't really pay attention too much to like the little companion stamps, if you will. Like the small stamps that fill in and complement all of the bigger stamps in a set. So I decided, why not see if I can make something out of that? So I decided to use those two leaves, and I stamped them all over that piece of paper that is actually copic friendly. And I used, I believe it was the Ink on 3 blackout ink, which is also copic friendly. And I am going to be making a wreath. So here I am showing you how I am coloring two leaves. I did not want to show all of them because it's very repetitive. And the colors were G28, YG69, I think, and YG93. I'm trying to remember. I recorded this a while ago. And lastly, YG13 is going to go all over it. And since I did not use a stamping platform, my lines are not as crisp as I would like them to be. So using a multi-liner, I just went on top of the stamped outline and made sure that they looked crisp. And now there you see all of the leaves colored. And I am going to be now coloring the 3 florals that are part of the Oopsy Daisy stamp set. And this is very, very simple coloring, actually. Just 2 shades of green. And then I kind of went with the purple. I have a few friends that love the color purple. It's not, actually, it was 3 colors. My bad. So, yeah, I did not go very, like, hyper realistic or any kind of realism, really, for how I colored today. It's supposed to look cutesy, cartoony-ish, so that was my aim. So for the center, I like to do the center of that big daisy. I like to do this technique. I call it dotting. I don't know what the name actually is, but it gives it that texture that I feel the center of flowers have. And I really, really like it. I decided to bring a little bit more of that E49 here in just a second so that, I don't know, it looked more defined. All right, and that's it. So when you look at it just by itself, it looks a little weird, but then when it's all put together, it looks really nice. So BV17 is the color I am starting with for all of the little petals. And I'm just coloring the center, not really like minding too much if all of my lines are the same, making sure that I leave a little bit of white on each side of the petals and a lot of bit of white on the top of each petal, so that in the end it will look more dimensional. So yeah, very, very simple coloring. And after this, I will move on to my mid-tone, which happens to be BV02 Prune. This is a very, very light purple. And what I do with my second tone or my mid-tone, I always do this. I color on top of the previously shaded areas. So the dark area that I colored before this one, I will go on top of that, and then I will extend it a little bit further out. But I will not cover the complete area of each petal. I am still leaving a little bit of white everywhere. And VO1, which is a pinkish purplish, the other ones were more bluish. That color, that marker is what's going to cover every tiny little space in each petal. And that is how I get my florals to look a little bit dimensional. I could go more into detail as to, you know, like other steps that you can do in order to make it look more realistic, but we're not gonna do that. It's fine. So now for the other two flowers, two daisies, I kind of thought about whether I wanted them to look like they make sense, you know, like, because like the outside of the petals, when you're looking at an actual flower, they look different. They have a more toned down color. And I thought about doing that, but you know what? We're keeping it simple. I'm going to leave it as is. Just do the same steps as I did on the big flower because it's going to be cute nonetheless. Nobody is going to know. So once again, I did my darkest first, and then I'm doing my mid-tone, still leaving a little bit of white around each petal, and then finishing it off with V01, which sort of kind of changes the tone of the petals a little bit to more of a reddish purple than bluish purple. But I like it. I like the way it turned out. It was a happy accident, if you will. Now I am going to fussy cut each and every single one of those flowers and leaves, and it's magic. All right, here I have a few pieces of white cardstock that I die cut using a die from my stash, and they all look like textured wood. I wanted to make a wooden background for my wreath so that it kind of looked like a wall or a door. And here's a little tip for you guys that I really enjoy doing. I use my gel, I think it's called a gel mat or gel press or something like that. It's for like mixed media. And it's pretty stained because I used it with alcohol inks a while back. But I use my gel mat to hold on to all of my pieces of paper when I am going to be inking them. And it works so good. So I decided to stain or ink them using a very light blue. I don't know what the idea behind that was. I just felt like it would look nice, complement the colors of the wreath. And I am gluing all of those pieces of wood onto my base. Not my base, my card panel. Trying to make sure that they look staggered, that the panels, the wood panels don't look like they are matchy-matchy. And then I am going to trim all of that into something a little bit smaller than 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is your regular size card. And now for the wreath, I grabbed a piece of paper and I just penciled in a circle using my tape, and I lined up all of those leaves there so that they could sort of be circly. And then I am picking it up with some tape, low tack tape, and I will place it onto my panel. There you go. There you have it. I'm pretty happy with how it looks, but I felt like it needed a little bit more, a couple more leaves here and there. So that's what I'm doing right now. In retrospect, looking at my card now, I realized that I did not even align those leaves to look, you know, like they were all facing the right way, but it's fine. Nobody will notice. I mean, now you will because I told you. So I am placing the florals right there towards the right, lower right, and the center flower, the bigger one, is the only one that I put foam adhesive on the back so that it looked more dimensional. And I noticed I had a few leaves that were left over from all of the ones that I colored, and I did not want to throw them away. So I decided I'm just going to make this wreath look more organic, so it's not as like circle shape. I wanted it to look like it had leaves popping out. And here I have my card base, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Unless I cut it. Let's see. No, I did not. I did leave a little bit of a border. Yeah, I recorded this a while back, so having a hard time remembering some things. There you go. Now I am doing my sentiment, which is also from a stamp set by Possum Stamps. And it says Happy Mother's Day, which is very fitting because Mother's Day is just right around the corner. And I was going to just leave it be like a straight line like it was as I stamped it. But looking at it on top of the wreath, it just did not sit right with me. So I put some foam on two of the sides and placed it on the top right. And that is it. I think it turned out so cute. And it's perfect for Mother's Day. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video, and don't forget to subscribe to Possum Stamps here on YouTube. I will see you next time. Bye bye.